everybody. How you doing? Could we all raise, stand, and pledge allegiance to the flag?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Danny, can we have a roll call?
Jacqueline Daniels. Here. Tyler Kennedy. Jalen Daniels.
Present.
Frank Pergola.
Here.
Adam Preston.
Here.
Sean Rallis.
Here.
Rowan Brown.
Here.
Noah Darrow.
Here.
Patricia De Silva. Here. Christopher Rogers.
Here.
Daniel Stahl. Here. Carl Williams.
Here.
Lisa Glazer. Here. And Ann Lynch. Here. Okay, quorum was met.
Thank you. May I have a motion for consideration of the previous minutes?
I'll make a motion for consideration of the previous minutes.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing no objections, those minutes are accepted. Okay, public session. We have a lot to cover tonight, so I would appreciate if we can really try to keep it brief. 3, 4, 5 minutes tops, if you can, please. So, is there anyone from the public who would like to get up and speak? Is there anyone from the public? Please, ma'am. Just state your name and your address.
My name is Pat Bomels, and it's 4 Renahan Drive, Ansonia, Connecticut.
Hi, Pat.
Hi, good evening, sir. Aldermen, all the ladies, thank you. It's an honor to be here. Some of you may be familiar with the National Day of Prayer. So basically, I am here to extend an invitation to everyone because we are continuing the annual observation of it, and it's the 75th year for the National Day of Prayer, and we've been doing it myself since 2010 in Ansonia, and we're going to be holding it right next door here at the Veterans Memorial. The date is May 7th, and it is a Thursday from 5:30 to 7 p.m. We will begin with music, whatever, at 5 o'clock. So we just wanted to extend an invitation and let everybody know that you are more than welcome. We would be honored to have all of you there. So we have a theme every year, and this year it's beautiful because with the way things are going in life, we want to reach all generations. So the theme is Glorify God Among the Nations, Seeking Him in All Generations. And it's based on Scripture. And again, it's Thursday, May 7th, 5:30 to 7 p.m. We were honored to receive the Governor's Proclamation already for that. Now, some may not know, but every year the Governor does proclamations, and he's done it for us every year, so here we go. For this year, we're all set. And when we get together, we do represent, if you don't know, the National Day of Prayer is for any group, anyone can have an event on that day. We represent the Judeo-Christian expression of the National Day of Prayer. And we pray for these 7 centers of power that really affect our nation, the direction, and it's basically the church, family, education, business, military, the government, arts, entertainment, and media. Now, if nobody knows that we all need help in those areas, come on out, and you'll see. And we do invite local pastors and lay persons to lead in one of the topics. And we have some music, and we just invite local churches. We sent out letters, and anyone who comes can join us in faith, and we all have moments in between where we can all join in. So other than that, I just congratulate you on I know there's a lot of new faces here, so
Thank you.
congratulations on your appointments. You have a big job ahead of you, and please know that praying for the government is one of our major goals.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you, Pat.
So you are prayed for it, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it and hope to see you. Oh, I have a few of these in case someone wants to see them, but everyone will get one of the prayer guides if you come. Okay? And we hope you do. Thank you. If you have any
Thank you, Pat.
questions, I can be contacted. Okay? Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to get up and speak? Ed? Please state your name and your address.
Edward Mazzanti, 21 Castle Lane. What's this board give the police department the authority to go after these mopeds? The mopeds driving up and down the streets and everything, cutting people off. I called one day because yeah, we'll send a police car. Police car sat over there and everybody went after him. I was right there on Main Street. Because Derby does first offense $25, second one is $75. Then it goes down to the junkyard. And they're for a pack of Derby and New Haven to do that. With these mopeds, $25 fine, $75 fine, then they take the mopeds. They do it, and it goes down to the crusher. New Haven does it, and Derby does it, and for a fact. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, you know, I agree with you that some issue has got to be dealt with, and we're in the process of trying to draw up a policy to deal with that.
Derby does it, and New Haven does it.
Well, Derby and New Haven have passed it so far. We haven't. We're working on it now.
There's accidents, the routes are driving around like crazy. I called the police department up a couple times, and they just sat over there. Good Friday, I was right in front of the little stewards. They ain't doing nothing.
Well, I would ask you to,
The board gave them the authority to go after this because this is an ongoing thing with them. The mopeds go up and down sidewalks, cut people off. I called myself on Good Friday in front of Little Sewers. Police car was set right over at the back parking lot.
there's a process we have to follow as far as public hearing, of drawing up the ordinance, of dealing with the problem, and we can't do it here tonight. I understand your frustration. I feel the same frustration, but I would ask you for your patience. Yes, Derby's done it. Maybe New Haven's done it. We haven't, and we're trying to remedy that situation now.
All right, and one more thing. Eagle hose have all lights go red when there's a fire. Yesterday, somebody was blowing a light when the fire trucks were coming. I was right there. Because I guess before they were supposed to have that done with the state control the lights there at Eagle Hose. That never happened. Because yesterday I witnessed it happening. They went out. Guy just took right up and the truck was coming. All the lights will go red as they're coming out. They will control the lights.
I'll look. I'll ask.
Lisa,
But that was supposed to happen.
hold on. I looked at this 20 years ago as a fire commissioner. It's a state road.
Right, because
The lights cost over $1 million a piece.
but the state
We
was
own the
supposed,
lights. We can't spend $1 million for a light on a state road. So the state has to do something. It's out of our hands. That's all we can do. I'm just letting you know it's a dead issue. We tried before. It's not going to happen. Somebody needs to tell you that. I'm not telling you that. Right? State road, state light. We're not willing to invest $1 million to this road. We can open up again if you want to talk to the police commission or the fire commission. We can go to them, but it's a state road. We don't own it.
all right. But the moped thing, I'm sure you could do something with that.
I'm hoping we can, but right now we can't. Thank you, Ed. Is there anyone else who would like to get up and speak tonight? Going once. Is there anyone else who would like to get up and speak at the public session tonight? Last time. Is there anyone who would like to get up and speak at the public session tonight? Thank you for your time. Thank you for your comments. Public session is closed. Now for the public official session. Mr. Mayor?
sorry about the heat, but we don't have anybody show up for Public Works to turn on the AC. And it gets worse and worse as you go up the stairs. Oh, Mike, where are you, Mike? Tomorrow. That's Mike, my Public Works. All right, so I'll try not to be too long-winded. I have a lot to say. I'll cut some things out. I want to thank you for allowing me to be here as the mayor, to lead you, which is a very difficult time. You know, we have an undeclared war. We have national health and food economic situations. I don't know if you noticed the price of beef. And I know you noticed the price of fuel. And we have some serious mismanagement of our finances that we're trying to address. And when you don't have the money and you get holes in the budget, it's pretty difficult. So as I had promised, we are hiring a professional full-time controller / CEO for the city, pending tonight's Board of Aldermen's approval. An extensive search was conducted over the past several months. We used a professional management firm, and several professionals are involved with the search. And we will be hiring a gentleman named Michael Iodice, who comes to us highly recommended from both the Chief Executive Officer and a controller from another city in Connecticut. We will be welcoming Michael and expect him to be hitting the ground running. I hope tomorrow morning he gets approved. So welcome to Michael. He's not here tonight. Okay, with the Board of Alders approval, I am very happy to say we're going to be promoting Tyrone Maynard to the position of foreman. Tyrone, you want to stand up? Now, Tyrone grew up in Ansonia, was an outstanding athlete and coach. He's well known for his knowledge, his strong work ethic, leadership, team building skills. And he learned all these things growing up in Ansonia, and he didn't pay me to say them. I said them myself. I've known him my whole life. Those values are ingrained in him, and he is replacing a position that's been vacated by a retirement. So we're thrilled to have you on board. So welcome. So Tyrone, thank you for stepping up. I said welcome, and it's a very important position, as you know. You want to say anything?
Yeah.
What's up, 27? Mayor, thank you. I'm excited for this opportunity, and I thank you for the opportunity. And I look forward to working with all of you. I thank Joe for this process. And it's been a process. I'll make it quick for you. He pulls up on a job where we're moving snow, and I'm like, what did I do? If you don't know Mr. Tishka or Mayor, he's a hands-on kind of guy, and you might remember this, Carl. Carl and I were teammates when we played football in '92, but it was like a summer day, and we were doing doubles or triples or something like that, and we were not in the mood to do anything. It was hot, and he was an assistant coach at that time, and he saw we weren't doing, and we had no energy or anything. This guy took one of our helmets and got into this drill, and actually it got us through the rest of the day because we're all like, look at this guy, you know, something wrong with him. We got pads on, this guy's just got a helmet on, and it was a shed drill, and he's like, come on, let's go. And we're all looking at one another like, is he serious? You know, I wasn't one of the guys that was going up against him for sure, because there's got to be something wrong with him. But he took on guys, and like that meant something to me. Why he took to become this mayor. He's a hands-on kind of guy. So I wish you luck. I'm in your corner. So I want to thank my wife for coming, my brother. I will be leaning on him for a lot of support. And if there's anything you guys need, I guess you'll soon have my number.
Now, what you didn't tell him was we played in 5 state championships in a row, and maybe 6. But you were part of those state championships, right? You know, that's what it takes. You know, so that's probably part of it myself. So we are also approving the contract for Mr. Michael DeLessio. Mike, do you want to stand up? I asked Mike to take over Public Works in December of 2025. We basically did it for $1 for the month because he was so committed to the city of Ansonia. And Mike, you've done a great job. You found ways to save us money. You're going to see we're going to be weighing stuff coming in. We're going to be charging for stuff that we should be charging for to out-of-state, out-of-city residents. We're no longer filling up the dumpsters and hauling stuff from other contractors. That was going on for a while. We're saving thousands of dollars each month. And he's just doing a great job. He's, along with Tyrone. Keith's in the back. They're doing a great job as far as managing the roads, the salt, all that kind of stuff. Most of the towns in Connecticut spend several $100,000 in salt and sand this year, and we're also one of them, and overtime. So it was a disastrous winter. So thank you guys for leading us through that. It was a mess. So hopefully we'll approve you tonight too. Mike's working on Nolan Field, managing day-to-day operations at DPW, looking at wasteful practices, and he's the go-to guy when we need a sign. Somebody has a problem at their house, they can't get out of their house for whatever reason, we send Mike and we drag them out. As far as the Johnson Controls and High Axiom go, believe it or not, we're still working on it, and it's very taxing. We're trying to stay out of litigation, which would cost us a lot of money. We are looking at a way to finance short-term debt with them and to come out of this where we get somebody to take that over. We don't have a $37 million loan that we're paying for a system that we can't use. So I can't go into too much detail. It's all behind the scenes right now. If we can do that, we're hoping we can maybe make a few $100,000 a year in income and get rid of a $37 million loan, which is costing us $3 million a year to pay. So that's in the works. My budget will be sent to the Board of Aldermen review once we receive the final expenses and revenues for 2027 final adjustments. And we're going to meet again this week to add and vote. They met last week. We didn't have an agenda. We didn't have a complete quorum, so that's why you're not getting it tonight. We actually have a budget. You can't send you a budget if the whole board doesn't approve it. So I looking for money. I reviewed the city's properties, and there's 3 properties that we could sell, and that's going to be coming to the board. I don't think we've sent you anything yet, but that will be coming, and that's going to go through Rhonda Corrini downstairs. Personnel changes are in process. I am very hopeful that no teachers will be laid off in the coming year, or anybody. I am working hard with our state legislators, Kara Rochelle and George Cabrera, lobbying to receive several $100,000 additional funding for our schools. And I am asking for ECS funding, which is not going up in 20 years. What is it, 2013? 2013. That's money that goes directly to the city to give to the board. It's a set amount for each city, and they actually told me that they're going to try to up that issue. So that's in the works. And we are working in conjunction with Superintendent Stockwell's office on the plan to prevent any teacher reductions. So Ansonia is an Alliance School District. I think most of you know that. And we do receive approximately $22 million dedicated to the school system. So we're working hard. We don't want any layoffs. Funny thing happened yesterday. We received a certified letter from the post office next door over here, threatening us with stopping the delivery of mail. The reason is that they had a $2,000 check for a mailer for a political campaign. The only thing was, it wasn't my political campaign. So I gave them the information who to send the bill to, and it's going to get resolved. But the bottom line was they were threatening the city to withhold our mail for something totally political. And I explained to them, There's Republicans, there's Democrats, and there's the city, and never the three shall meet, so we got that resolved, and they're gonna be going after the treasurer responsible for the full pot. I mentioned their vote is gonna recommend the budget. We're gonna have one more meeting to vote, and make sure we have a quorum, and we'll look at that next week. Just a side note, there's going to be a Polish Day, April 30th at the state capitol. And it's held to honor contributions of Connecticut residents of Polish American heritage. So I've been asked and honored to represent Ansonia and the state Polish community. And for the record, my Polish is terrible. I mean, I get lost after 2 words. But also, more importantly to me, there's going to be a flag raising for the Vietnam 51st stoppage of the war in Vietnam, South Vietnam. And my brother Eddie was killed in that war, and I can't make it. So I wrote a speech with my brother Joe, and he's going to deliver the speech. And if anybody can make that on the 30th, it's at 12 o'clock. It would be great if you come. And I know it's going to be emotional for my brother Joe. He's kind of quiet, and when I asked him if he would do it, he was thrilled. So thank you for your support, what you do for veterans. I know most of you know.
Is that here?
Yeah, it's going to be 12 o'clock in the front, April 1st. I will not be there. I'll be in Hartford, probably the 1 or 2 o'clock. And that's it. I don't have anything else to say. Oh, one other thing. There's a couple of properties we're looking at with the tax collector. One of them is several $100,000 behind in payments. It came to my attention, and we are taking legal actions. These people haven't paid property taxes since 2012 or 13. So just looking at ways to save money. I think you know about that, John. All right, so we're looking at ways wherever we can to bring some money back into the coffers. Thank you. That's all I have for today. I got tons of others. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Nan?
I will be brief, I promise. We're beginning the interview process for the Ansonia Nature Center Director. That'll begin this week. And we are also wrapping up the RFP process for companies to upgrade the website. RFP, for those who aren't on this side of the fence, is a request for proposals. So we've reached out to a number of vendors, and we'll be reviewing those proposals and contacting those vendors and seeing what they can do for the city and what kind of budget we would utilize. We're hoping to keep this at about what we pay for website maintenance. And I have also been working on energy tax credits. We're getting a firm to help us apply for these energy tax credits through the IRS. I work on a similar project with the state, and these forms are very complicated, and it really does benefit the city to have a company that is experienced in this particular niche type of IRS filing. So, with that, thank you.
Thank you, Nan. Joe?
Thank you, Mr. President. I will try to be brief as well. A couple of things on your executive session. Obviously, the contracts the mayor mentioned. Congratulations against Ty, Mike, and also Mike Iades, the CFO planner. Hopefully, those get approved tonight. That's up to you guys. There's also a CBA for the Arms Union. That will be discussing tonight in executive session. A couple of HR things. We have been continuing to move forward with the paychecks process on time and accrual, as well as the personnel aspect of it, which includes digitizing a lot of that stuff. It all comes down to that time and accrual aspect. And then there's an entirely other sort of implementation that's going to take place once that's done, but we're expecting that over the next 4 to 6 weeks. So that's good. That's coming to a head. Finally, in terms of other positions, as Nan said, we're interviewing right now for the Ansonia Nature Center Director, as we're aware, Mr. President. That'll be coming later this week, and also another interview next week.
Thursday this week for Danny.
Thursday, I believe, and next Monday, I think, are the interview dates. So we should have something going forward with that. In addition to that, we are going to be looking for some replacements over at Public Works. As many of you know, we've had quite a few retirements down there. So we're going to be looking to replace some of that workforce. That contract is also coming back up for renegotiation. We'll be engaging there. We have negotiations ongoing with three other collective bargaining agreements. I'm expecting to hopefully, fingers crossed, have 2 more to you next month in May for your approval. And other than that, I think that kind of wraps things up. I don't know if there's any specific questions from any of the members.
Is the payroll firm new? That's a new thing?
It's not a new thing. We've been working on it for quite a few months now. It's what it essentially is. It's going to allow people to see on the Paychex app an application, their time, their accrual, and a process for approval that's going to go through that.
You're explaining why we did it, because you gotta have someone come in here to sign.
Correct. So right now, a lot of the time is being done department specific. So people are being signed off on manually in some cases. A lot of the accruals are being kept on spreadsheets and being submitted to the payroll department. So we're centralizing that all under Paychex. We've had it available to us for a long time. The implementation was started under Mr. Miller, and we're pushing it to the end. So we should be done with that in the next 6 weeks. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. Dr. Joe?
Well, thank you, President. Well, first I want to congratulate Mike Tyrone. Listen, if I could be of any help, first I want to say congratulations, but you got the board ed support. Whatever I could do to help support you, just know we're there. And I like hearing the 2-7. I like hearing, so I love everything about it. And so first of all, speaking of that, right now we have 27 students in Greece that are doing with Global Scholars. They should be coming back tomorrow, so hopefully we all pray for a safe return of our students. We also have 4 students that are also doing a cooperative project in China right now. So, and they should be coming back to China, yes. And I can tell you later at a later time, but we hopefully will have some exchange programs available for teacher exchange and student exchanges to come. I do want to just share that I did have an administrative meeting tomorrow afternoon, but I canceled it because we're all going to a baseball game tomorrow at Nolan Field, because right now our baseball team is undefeated and doing very well. So we're going to go to a baseball game, then do our Board of Education meeting. I did want to share that I want to thank the Board of Aldermen and the Mayor's Office for ongoing support. I know this time is very, very tough financially. We've had to make some decisions and hand out some notices. I'm hoping we can be at that point where we could rescind some notices and bring things back. I know we'll find out more information from the state probably the first week of May, but until then, I appreciate the ongoing support from everyone in this room and the Mayor's office. So then, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Androwski?
Good evening. Yes, we are going to go after the people that don't pay their taxes. That's going to be on my first impression to do that. I would like to mention, though, we're trying to do with the city with artificial intelligence, and it's not going to be very easy to do that. And I'm going to give you an example of why we need artificial intelligence. There's a house in Ansonia that had next to it a garage, a detached garage. And that detached garage then became a house. And they basically then put in city water, city sewers, and now that house the people want to sell both of those houses. We need the records for that. We have no idea what was going on over a number of years. Yeah, there's some records down in the building department, but all of that has to be put together again. That's what we were attempting to do. In this particular instance, you would say, well, why doesn't that person that wants to sell that garage, which eventually became an in-law apartment, why doesn't she get a lawyer? Well, that might be a good idea, except she's 86 years old, and she's in a nursing home. And this is the only income that she basically has. So that's one example. The other example, there's another street in Ansonia where they have a sign that says it's a city street. But we don't know if it's a city street. And as a result of that, there are 3 or 4 homes in the back of that property that basically either they're impinging on other people's property or they don't exist at all. This has been going on already for 2 years or 3 years with the prior corporation council, and I'm just following up on that. So these are some of the problems that we have with the city, with trying to get the right data together, the right people together that could use that data and come up with a solution to a problem that we have in the city. So I'm hoping that we can go forward with this. And I know Joe mentioned a little bit about artificial intelligence and what he's doing. And it's not only getting the artificial intelligence to computers, it's getting the people that know what to do with that. That's the issue. And it's an oncoming thing. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Any questions, I'll be around.
Thank you, sir. Chief?
Good evening. Just a quick personnel update. Well, first off, I'll start with it. Mike, congratulations, kind of. It's been 4 months. I can't say congratulations after 4 months of work. Tyrone, congratulations. Can't tell you I do look forward to calling you in the middle of the night. Keep your phone on. All right. But actually, in all seriousness, Tyrone, congratulations. We've known each other forever. Congratulations. Just to let you know, we had an officer graduate from the police academy. He's currently in the field training program. He just started about 2 weeks ago. We have 3 other officers that are in the academy. We currently have, we had 5 open positions. Now we have 6 open positions. We had one of our officers resign to take a position with a federal law enforcement agency. So I wish him the best of luck. We have a supervisor that is currently out on long-term injury. We have 2 other officers that have returned. They're on light duty, and we are still taking applications with the next academy in July. So we are in the process of testing multiple candidates. This is going to kind of fold into budget information. So I know we're already working on the 26-27 budget, but I've been working with the finance department and sending some requests to vote. And you'll see some in your packet tonight that were approved for your final approval. Big concerns for me are overtime. When we have such a short staffing, overtime becomes an issue. Trying not to burn out the officers, but we need to put a number of officers on the street every shift. We've had some increases in our private duty. I don't know if you've driven around town at all, but there might be some construction going on in town. On every street, every neighborhood. Just so you know, Franklin Street is a state. That's got nothing to do with us. So you may, as you may know, we have compacts with some other towns. So when you see officers standing, you're like, oh, I didn't know we had an officer. It's probably not our officer. It's probably a Seymour officer, a Naugatuck officer, et cetera. They come down and help us out, just as we do with them. It's at no cost to the city. The vendor pays for all of that. But our vehicle repairs line, our computer maintenance line, and our promotional testing, which is our hiring line, are ones that I'm a little concerned with. But we're doing some transfers to try and limp us to the end of the year. We did receive our Tier 2 accreditation from the state post-council. So Lieutenant Froelich and Officer Fagan have been instrumental in getting us towards the end of our accreditation process. They went to the March 12th meeting and accepted the award on behalf of the department. So that went well. Still waiting on the federal government. If you don't know, they're kind of slow. And on some grant information for Vote the Best. Also submitted a grant for, we are currently negotiating a new contract for Axon, which is body-worn cameras, in-car cameras, tasers. There's a whole plethora of stuff. We have to renew a contract every 5 years. They all expire this year, so we're negotiating a new contract. But I did apply for a grant from the federal government to try and get some money back to offset those costs. Winter parking is over. Yes. Fully. We'll do all this again in December, and people come visit us at those meetings. And last, I want to remind everybody that the state grants are in force across the state for distracted driving. Stay off your phones. You should stay off your phones all the time. April is Distracted Driving Month, and we have been putting officers out there targeting people in specific locations in town. And no, I won't tell you what locations. Just don't drive in town with your phone. And lastly, the serious motor vehicle accident took place at Pershing Division last month. It's still being investigated by our detective bureau. I expect to have a resolution very soon. We've been having assistance from some other agencies that helped us with that accident. And lastly, we're up staffing for the Memorial Day Parade. So Mayor, I can't believe you didn't announce the Memorial Day Parade.
I forgot about that. I got a ton of stuff. I forgot OSHA too.
Yeah, so the Memorial Day Parade, we're starting to work on, we sent in our application to close the streets for, you have to get a permit to close any state road. So we're working on all that, so I expect it to be another glorious Memorial Day parade on Sunday. So if anybody has any questions, I'll also remind you on the 17th, there is the Woodbridge Ave Memorial that takes place. So everybody will be invited to that. We'll probably post something, but those are the usually comments that come out from the mayor's office about that ceremony, the short ceremony. But it's, I think it's one of the longest standing ceremonies in the neighborhood. So I'll get you more information at the next meeting.
Driving and using cell phones.
I'm sorry?
Driving and using cell phones?
Yes.
And also not use your cell phone at stoplights and stop signs?
Yeah, so just because you stopped your car waiting for the light to change, you can't be on your phone. Listen, most cars now have the ability for you to use it. Stay off the phone. There's really nobody that important to talk to anyway. Questions?
One question. Through the years,
Of course.
Yes.
never stopped. Yeah, we're always on the phone. But I guess my question is, for the distracted driving, is that like a new initiative or?
No. So every year through the state, the Department of Transportation, we give out tickets all year long. But in the month of April, the state pushes out grant money to all the cities throughout the state, and it's used so that we can hire extra officers and put them out on the road, and their only duty is for distracted driving. It's similar to when we were doing the speeding grants, and it's 100% reimbursable. The state pays for all your costs for the overtime, for pension contributions, all that's covered. So it doesn't cost the city any money. We outlay the money initially, and then the city reimburses us.
And it's only for distracted
It's just this one is just distracted driving, because the month of April is distracted driving. All right.
Sure, Brian.
Question? Where are we with the speeding cameras?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
The speeding cameras?
Oh, speeding cameras. So actually, I met this week with Corporation Counsel, Attorney Baird, and we met with the city rep. The rep from the company. We went over. She is now just reviewing the final contract. There were some changes we made, and a city ordinance that will have to go through the ordinance committee, and then to a public hearing, and then to this board to approve. I'm really hoping at the next meeting that we have something to at least present. If not, what may happen is we may present that to this board, and then the public hearing in the following month. And then once we sign a contract, the mayor gets authorization by this board to sign it. It will take about 45 days to implement, because we have to send it up to the state DOT, and they have to approve it. It's a really strict process. The company we're looking at is a turnkey company from start to finish, and I will reiterate it to the end of days that it is at zero cost to the city. We are going to have to hire a part-time person. I already have an idea of how we're going to do that, but again, all of the costs are paid for from the proceeds received by the program.
And I know this is going to sound like a stupid question,
Right.
but there are no current cameras in Ansonia, correct?
I don't know how to answer that question
Well,
without saying there are no speed cameras
Yes, there are no
in
speed-
the town of Ansonia.
Okay,
Correct.
because somebody keeps asking me why the cameras are already up, and I'm like, that's not the same cameras.
There may be, I will tell you, there are some companies that may have cameras up that are their own, and there are agencies that may have cameras on their vehicles for towing purposes, etc. So you may be talking about that, but the city of Ansonia has not instituted any speed cameras, red light cameras. There is nothing. It is a process you have to go through, and this board has to be part of that process.
I just wanted to make sure
No,
I was
100%.
giving the right
No,
answer.
we have not put up any cameras. All right, come out.
Thank you, Chief.
Two things I want to mention. The Recreation Board, Anne's working very hard. Some of the people on this group are working very hard. They had not met for, I want to say, for 5 years. And,
5 years.
What's that?
5 years.
5 years. And there was no rules or restrictions or regulations on whether to use an old field. If your cousin and 15 kids want to go up there and go on the field at the same time, the high school is there, then it would be okay because we have no rules. So they have a set of regulations, but if we're going to vote on this tonight, put that in place. I didn't mention that before. And the other thing I wanted to mention, and I'm going to let Mike, I'm going to put Mike on the OSHA do a surprise visit on us for, you know what OSHA is, right, for safety. And we did fairly well, some minor things. And Mike, you want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah.
Well, Mike is superintendent of public works, so.
Most of the repairs, secured already. Some of the cranes were not taken care of. Fire extinguishers from our city building, weren't up to par.
When you say weren't up to par, they weren't inspected.
They were inspected every year, it was like 2 years. And we had a gentleman from OSHA came and looked at the tag and said, oh, we got a compliance, because they weren't up to par. A lot of little things. I mean, it wasn't as bad as the last time. 8 years ago, we got hit. It was a lot of different things. It cost us like $60,000. This time here was, we were nicer to the gentleman, very nice guy. We were killing the kindness, kept the fees down. Joe will tell you, that we got everything done for us. So we got 2 more little things to do.
So I would say overall went very well. I mean, we had OSHA visit for 8 years. It was a surprise. The guy just showed up, came to my office, and said, "Hey, I'm going to Public Works." Just to let you know. That was my call to Mike. And thanks to Joe for working with Mike to get this stuff resolved. But, you know, I got a lot of things going on, and I'm sorry I can't remember everything in time. But that was important. And Memorial Day parade is, we got that back on track. That was not going to happen, but we funded that. We all know it's very important for those of us who have seen Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq. That's very important. We recognize the contributions. So that's it. I'll shut up now. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Miller, I don't want to be rude. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm just here to support the mayor during any discussions on the budget.
Okay.
So I'll defer any comments to that.
I didn't want to.
I appreciate it.
I didn't want to forget about you. Okay, that closes the. I think it closes the public official session. Oh,
Just a few things.
sorry, Mike.
That's all right, no problem. I just want to say a couple of things, and I'll make it quick. First, I want to thank Tyrone for taking this position. It's going to be a big help to me. Thank you very much. Hey, start turning black again, maybe. Besides that, I'm working on some things at the transfer station. Trying to get some numbers compiled, different towns, what they're charging their residents to come in. Try to set the same rules. I put a set of rules together years ago. It looks like Kurt stole them for Seymour, because I went up there to Seymour. They got all my prices up to Seymour. So I'm trying to get something together for us. New scale coming in, new credit card machine. Once we get all that in place, we'll put this out. I'll get all the numbers together. You guys can vote on it. I'll show you other surrounding towns what they're charging, just to keep, it balanced. Because right now this costs us a fortune down there. We have no fees. People just coming in. The Ansonia residents, we're checking licenses and all. But this town here is like, I don't know where they come from. It's like, it's a train all day long. People coming in and dumping and dumping and dumping and dumping the right stuff. No more commercial demolition stuff, but it's couches, chairs, tables. I don't know where they're getting it from, but it's a lot. So, actually, I called today. He said it'd take about a month to order it. So I called him, and the gentleman said, well, I'm waiting for a deposit. I said, what? I said, you told me I give you the purchase order, and you're waiting for a deposit. So I talked to him today. We don't give deposits. We give purchase orders out. So they understand it. I'll be back on the phone with him tomorrow, make sure that's ordered, and I'm hoping not next month, I guess other people, they want to deposit 45% down. And that's what they wanted from us. Didn't know it till today. They never emailed me back. We gave them a purchase order. They want a signed purchase order, and
Can they have that now?
and minutes from the meeting that the Board of Aldermen approved it.
Like, Kurt's right here. You'll have it.
Yeah.
If they need a deposit, we can have that wired out tomorrow.
Oh, yeah? Well, I got him down to the point that he said if I just get the minutes from the Board of Aldermen where you guys approved it and sign the purchase order, if they're okay with that.
So by July, we will be charging?
It's supposed to take a week to install it. He said to order it because they don't keep them in stock. He said it takes about 30 days to install, to order it, and then a week to install it. So I'm thinking May. I'm hoping June.
Okay. And
So I want to get on this and start, charging and maybe order some stickers so when people come in and show us our license once, put a sticker on their windows, City of Ansonia. If they're not going to keep bothering them every time they come in, they got a sticker. It's like other towns, Stratford, Milford.
Yes, right.
They give you a sticker and,
So you'll follow up with Mr. Miller?
oh yes I will, yep.
Okay.
Also, there's money left over from referendum money that was given to us for Public Works. There's a little bit of money left over. So I want to order a hot box, which is a box that holds asphalt and keeps it hot. So instead of us going out like yesterday we went out and got 2 tons of asphalt. We use 1 ton. By the time the other ton, it cools down and we end up throwing it away. And there's a lot of potholes this year, as everybody knows, and we're trying to get to it. So with this hot box, we have money left over from the referendum money that Kurt is trying to put over there for us, so we can order this and have, maybe in 2 weeks we'll have the equipment. In the long run, it's going to save us money. We put the asphalt in there, it'll stay hot for 3 days. So you can work longer times during the day, the next morning get out there and start quicker, we can get our potholes done faster, instead of getting these claims on broken wheels and everything else. Yeah, so hopefully Kurt can talk more about that. The money's there, right, Kurt, for the hot box? Okay. We just need your approval tonight that it's okay to move it over so I can purchase this hot box. And I'll get a purchase order from Kurt, and I can get it ordered. Any questions from anybody?
Please.
In the future, there's no cash.
No cash. Yeah, no more checks either, because there are a lot of bounce checks, so it's all credit card. Which a new credit card machine is coming with the scale. So, yeah. Okay, very good.
Thank you, Mike. Let's see, did I miss anybody? I don't think so. Okay, I think that closes the public official session. Next for financial reports. We've got no bills to pay. Well, tonight we have no bills to pay. We do have, and all we have are the boat recommendations and a request for funds, and the request for funds is a total of $2,414.87. May I have a motion to accept these financial reports?
I'll make a motion to accept the finance reports.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is passed. Monthly reports. We have no accidents and claims that I received. And we have reports from fire department, town clerk, library. And I think that's it. May I? Oh, it's, well, we have the land use coming up. Oh, Nature Center. Yeah, Nature Center also. It's laying here somewhere. I'm sorry. Can I have a motion to accept those reports?
I make a motion to accept the monthly reports.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, that motion is passed. Okay, we have a resolution. When I have the resolution right here for a reinitiation of the Charter Revision Commission. Something that needs to be dealt with. Do I have a motion to accept the reinitiation of the Charter Revision Commission? Carl, okay, thank you. Any second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the motion for the re-initiation of the Charter Revision Commission is passed. Communications. Well, we have a issue of a blight lien, which we will be taking up ourselves later in the evening in an executive session. So may I have a motion to take that up in executive session?
Motion to move
Sec-
that executive session.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? That motion is passed. That issue will be taken up in executive session later this evening. Mr. Norman?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I'm confused because under financial reports, you accepted the boat recommendations. That's not what we're here to do. All right? Under the presentation I gave you, I told you we were not finished. All right? But where we are now, it was to get you guys started. But I guess you don't want to do that. And I agree wholeheartedly. But to this point, I'd like to thank the chief and Mike, who probably have the largest budgets for how thorough and accurate theirs were. There were others that
Right here.
were just out of the ballpark. And, you know, we went through those. I'd like to thank Dave, commissioners that attended some of those department meetings and everything. But we still have a lot to do. Okay, even the approval, I can't get my board to approve because it's so out of whack, so to speak. All right, we have to talk to the mayor about some of the funds that he allows. You know, how much are we going to take from that reserve? How much is there from the WPCA? I have another meeting with Mr. Miller on Friday, a workshop, not a full-fledged meeting, and you know, 2 or 3 of you can join us in that. And I'd like to say, the mayor hit the nail on the head when he spoke, and he said mismanagement of finances. There's so much garbage in there that really has to be washed out. And, you know, we're talking about the boat approval. The 26-27 budget is a living document until June 30th of 2027. You know, money goes in, money goes out. We approve it, you approve it. So it's not something static that we draw a line. This is the $66 million budget. That's the end of the story. We have a lot of work to do during the year. You have a lot of work to do during the year. So I want to thank all of those that truly participated well. Beth, I drove her crazy with all of my meetings and agendas and what was a meeting and what was a workshop. I just gave her an article tonight about notifications. The state said that if we put it on our website, that's all we had to do as far as a meeting notice, which is okay, but it's just, there's a lot of work to do. And of course, I'd like to thank Dave for you know, letting us use his projector and some of the stuff that he's done. So if you have any questions as to where we are, I don't want to say nowhere, but we have a long road to hoe, if you know what I mean. So anyway,
Do you have another vote meeting scheduled?
we're going to do that, all right? I wanted tonight to have your president set up a joint meeting to explain where we are, and if you can get going and we can get going. Your process is much more difficult than ours. You know, we take a line item, we say, okay, we'll cut it 10%, and we cut it. You have to go through a majority vote, and, you know, all of those types of things. So it becomes political because you're elected officials. I'm appointed. You know, my tenure is up December. If the mayor wants to appoint me again, that's fine, but you have to go and knock on doors. You know what I mean? So the tax rate What I had in my recommendation was 2.99%, which would move it from 28.55 mils to 29.4. And you could do the calculations as to how much that's going to impact, an individual bill. But again, we're working hard for the citizens, and I just hope that we can come together, because you have a deadline to set too, because we have to get the bills out. So anyway, if there's any question, any specific questions.
I have a question. So I know you said that percentage-wise, you didn't say where you at. 30%, 20%? I'm just curious as to...
It's not a question of completion. How many times have we gone through it line by line? We went through it line by line. Our first brush was 200,000, which is nothing. All right? We went through and we set, aside from payroll, we're not touching payroll and benefits, all right? But I think there's some wiggle room there when the budget is an estimate. So when we're estimating those types of things, I don't know how much was added onto the estimate, but we went line by line looking at expense items and a 10% reduction, all right? The departments all have the intra-department transferabilities, all right? There was just one the other day, they had $4,000 left in the $7,500 account that they assigned to a new program. How do you have that much money left over, spare, 9 months, 3/4 of the way into the budget process? And there was a lot of that was in there, all right? When we met with all of the department heads, again, I have to commend the fire department. They came in, they're well prepared. There wasn't a lot of, fat, so to speak, to cut there, but the commission came in with them. There were others, when we met with the department, they never even saw the budget. They didn't even know what it was, who put it together. Came out of thin air or something. But those were the type of things. And then others that had put things in the budget that never showed up in the budget. So I don't want to dwell on that mismanagement aspect, but hopefully we can bring that around. And I thank the mayor for putting me on here, because I do take it to heart. And again, I have to thank your president also, because he attended quite a few. So that's it. Any other questions?
My only concern is, it's like I'm a newbie here. My concern is that Boat was not able to reach, they didn't have a quorum, so they weren't able to reach a vote one way or the other day. So I don't see how handing anything down to us at this point.
Well, that's what I was questioning. You already accepted it.
No, that was the municipal report. That was the report.
Financial reports, vote recommendation.
Yeah, that's your municipal report from your meeting. This comes to the alderman for approval. It's all the transfers. That's the report.
This is what they're talking about.
Just a minute.
Has nothing to do with the budget.
No, this is all the...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was different.
All right. Yeah, because I was wondering, because we're calling it recommendation, that's what it is.
Well,
This is just the recommendation, the transfers that we have to approve. That's what that part of the agenda is.
Well, and you'll see some significant numbers from reserves in there, yeah.
well, we're all going to have to work together. Everyone in this room is going to have to work together to solve the problems.
All right. So, again, I guess to answer your basic question about our approval, all right, I will call a meeting, a special meeting, so it's my board, to get it approved so far, I guess it would be.
Well, just so we have something definite to work with. I mean, it's to work on, to try to balance a supposition of a number. That doesn't work for me. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to call them personally to find out when they're available. So
Kurt, please.
Based on the current situation, I think it would be prudent if there's joint meetings that are called at this point because you're starting to run the clock at this point.
Yeah, we've been
Sure,
talking about
if
that.
there's a need for referendum, make sure that you have enough time for this board to do what it needs to do and still get tax bills out on time. So I think it would be prudent to have those joint meetings, certainly not taking the authority of vote away for them to make the decision, but at least start to familiarize the 14 of you with the information. So that way, when it does come to you, you're more aware of what's going on, and maybe your decision process will be quicker. So if you wanted to schedule those, we can certainly do that. And as the chairman had mentioned, we can have the budget up on the screen. We can walk you through the different line items, the different sections, and more importantly, kind of all the formulas that help build the mayor's budget. And then I can also articulate at that point some of the reasons why the mayor made the decisions that he did to push the budget forward through his part of the process. So try to answer all those questions at once and maybe be able to tie this up in 2 weeks or so to be able to either move it forward through a vote of the Board of Aldermen or move it to referendum if that's what's required.
Combining the two boards working together is,
Let me do my special meeting to get approved.
right, just so you can give us something solid, a starting point to begin with.
That's what I was giving you.
Yeah.
You want to approve
As do I,
I'm going to meet with Mr. Miller on Friday morning, okay, and a lot of those estimates will be cleared up, so.
No, I was saying flip around your mind.
Well, we appreciate the effort you've put in, Ed, so far. I know it's a big job.
Mr. Chairman, point of information through you to Ed, also open it to Mr. Miller as well. You're facing, I think that Mr. Chairman said it well in saying, I know this is an extremely difficult budget to handle. Is there some information that you can give us on why it's so difficult? Is it a lot of like the cost obligations that we have? I'll open that like Mr. Miller. You would know as well. I mean, you've dealt with these budgets for years at this point.
Let me answer. I spoke to Mr. Miller about the current budget and how it's happening. And I know he had total arguments because other department heads were there with prior management about doing things that shouldn't be done, but they were done anyway. So and Mr. Miller, you can, I don't know if you want to talk about that or whatever, but.
Well, go ahead.
I mean, I appreciate it, but I think at this point, what's most important is getting a budget done. And I think the biggest issue that the city faces, and I think the mayor has said it multiple times, it's not necessarily an expense problem, it's a revenue problem. So we need to come up with a way to address the revenue situation, to rebuild the financial foundation of the city, put that plan together for a 2 or 3 year period, and then go from there. So that's going to be a combination of coming up with solutions on the revenue side, but at the same time also controlling expenses. The mayor brought in a budget that he presented at 0. So again, I'm not sure going lower than 0 is necessarily prudent because now you're just starting to necessarily cut things just to get to a number when we really need to focus on that revenue side. Come up with as much revenue as we possibly can, but articulate a plan that's going to be 2 or 3 years so the residents understand that yes, maybe we have to go to referendum this year. Maybe it's going to be a little higher than normal, but if we follow the plan for these next 2 years, come year 4, this is where we're going to be. I've worked a lot with Tom Hamilton, the consultant that the mayor brought in, and we have 2 very similar plans, which is very good. Tom's a very smart man, very good sounding board. We're able to go back and forth on some different things. We're in agreement on the plan that the mayor presented. We've created budget outlooks that go out 3 and 5 years that kind of show these progressions. It's also the same plan that was presented to S&P. So S&P is also comfortable with this decision. So as long as we're staying the course of what was presented, we should not have any problems with S&P. So for the budget aspect, there's a few other issues. The mayor's talked about those, some of the issues with the Johnson Controls project, things like that, but those are kind of separate to the side. But that's where the main kind of focus needs to be made.
And Mr. Mayor, again, through you, through Mr. Miller, I completely agree. I think the biggest thing is forward-facing with this. My concern is that the boat is facing an extremely difficult situation right now with this budget. It's just the reality that we're in right now. And we also need to take this on as well. We need to scrutinize the budget. That's what the process is about. My largest concern is these obstacles are, and I think I can speak for all the residents in the city, that they come with a high price, and what now we're going to pivot and we're going to have additional collaboration on this, right? What are the biggest things that we need to focus on for tackling this? Because I'm watching Vote pour their effort into this, scrutinizing the budget. Dan has been at those meetings. The other alders have been at those meetings. And I know it's difficult for them, so I guess I'm asking for an explanation of how do we get to this end, essentially. That's what it is, because it's a hefty budget that we're facing this year.
I would really like to save this discussion for those workshops, rather than extend the argument, not the argument, the guesses here, because we don't know.
Can I just ask, Mr. Miller, you're going to make yourself available to vote for whatever they need in order to get this done as quickly as possible. So if there's questions that they have, you're going to be available to make sure they can answer those questions?
We're already meeting Friday morning.
Perfect.
To get a lot of that out of the way.
Perfect. That way, maybe they won't have so many issues if everybody works together to figure out what the questions are.
And we don't want to just kick the can down the road, as she was saying, that has happened in the past. We'll turn it over to you, and then what do you want? You know what I mean? And you need a majority vote. I only need a standard vote.
Well, we can continue these discussions starting on Friday morning.
And I'll let you know when my special meeting for full approval, my board is, and we can take it from here in our joint session.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Kurt. Okay, next on the agenda, Super Softy License Agreement.
She was here. We should have had her come to the meeting.
Yes, yes.
Somebody call Mike.
I might have to speed that.
Do I have a motion to accept their license?
I would like to make a motion to approve the Super Softy license.
So you like your ice cream, don't you?
When Molly was little, yes, he was going to speed that.
Okay.
I will second that, Mr. President.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion so passed. Next is the policy for the use of the city-owned school and parks fields. Do I have a motion to accept that document approved?
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion so passed. The next one is Kim DeStefano about the WPCA. She sent me a email, I think it was earlier today or late yesterday, that she hasn't got the numbers. She hasn't got the specifics worked out yet. So we're going to table that until May's meeting, and we'll deal with it then. Yeah. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So tabled until the May meeting. Next. Resignations. We have Gary Cassetti is resigning from the Board of Assessment and Appeals. Florence Cama, I'm going to butcher this one, I apologize, Camilleri. Okay, it was a good guess. Board of Assessment and Appeals, and Jerome Feiner, Inland Wetlands Commission. Do I have a motion to accept those resignations and wish them luck?
I'll make a motion to accept this resignation and wish them luck.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Resignation is submitted, accepted, and good luck to whatever they do now. Okay, appointments.
Board of Aldermen, pursuant to my powers under the city charter and code, I hereby submit the following appointments. Board of Apportionment and Taxation, Diane Stroman, 66 High Street, Ansonia. Gonzalez, replacement, term to expire 12/21, that should be 31/26.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So moved.
As the vote representative to the School Building Commission, Diane Stroman, 66 High Street, Ansonia. Gonzalez, replacement, term to expire 11/30/27.
Make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to accept Diane Stroman. She'd be a welcome addition to the School Building Commission.
Second.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions? So moved.
Charter Revision Commission. These appointments were made last month, but because the resolution hasn't been passed to create the commission, we're reappointing them. Just to keep things in order. Mary Gibson, 16 Arbor Terrace, Ansonia, appointment with term to expire November 30th, 2027.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So moved.
Bruce R. Goldson Jr., 160 Beaver Street, Ansonia, Connecticut, appointment, term to expire 11/30/27.
Motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions? So moved.
Frank Halpin, 7 Ford Road, Ansonia, Connecticut, appointment with term to expire 11/30/27.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So moved.
Daniel Kershaw, 59 Ben Street, Ansonia, appointment with term to expire 11/30/27.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So moved.
Eileen Krugel, 36 Cedar Street, Ansonia, appointment term to expire 11/30/27.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So moved.
Christopher Lisi, 13 Hull Street, Ansonia, appointment term to expire 11/30/27.
I'll make a motion to accept Chris Lisi.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So moved.
Elizabeth Lynch, 63 Franklin Street, Ansonia, appointment term to expire 11/30/27.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So moved.
Denise Matisovich, Prospect Street, appointment with term to expire 11/30/27.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So moved.
Frank Pergola, 13 Mulford Street, Ansonia, with appointment term to expire 11/30/27.
Motion.
I second.
Any discussion?
I'm feeling really chatty now.
All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? So moved.
Javier Barres, 20 Clarkson Street, Ansonia, appointment term to expire 11/30/27.
I motion for Javi.
Second.
Second.
Discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So moved.
Arms Commission, Board of Aldermen Representative Patricia De Silva, 23 Hall Street, Ansonia, term to expire 11/30/27.
Make a motion.
I second.
Discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstentions?
Me.
Motion is so passed.
Rohan Brown, 72 Howard Avenue, Board of Aldermen Representative, term to expire 11/30/27. Motion to accept?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? You're stealing her punchline, Rohan. So moved.
Noah Darrow, 24 Hall Street, Ansonia, Board of Aldermen Representative, term to expire 11/30/27.
I motion.
I second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I abstain.
Motion is passed.
Michael Warhala, 9 Evening Star Drive, Seymour, appointment to the armed staff, term to expire 11/30/27.
Motion?
Make a motion. I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion is passed.
Michael Hokinson, 153 Main Street, apartment 401, Ansonia, the armed staff appointment, term to expire 11/30/27. Motion to accept?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion is passed.
James Blaskowitz, 155 Hodge Avenue, Ansonia, appointment to armed staff, term to expire 11/30/27.
May I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, the motion is passed.
Planning and Zoning Commission, Scott Tremblay, 3 Catalina Drive, Ansonia, appointment, term to expire 12/31/2030.
I'll make the motion.
And I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion is passed.
Inland Wetlands Commission, John Jones, 92 Ford Street, Ansonia, Mahousic replacement, term to expire 12/31/26.
I make a motion to accept, John.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion is passed.
James Malloy, 14 Granite Terrace, Ansonia, finer replacement, term to expire 12/31/27.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion is passed. That's it. Next is ordinances. What am I missing here? Nothing? Okay. No ordinance. I was just thinking of,
That was the field use stuff.
Yeah.
next month, we're going to deal with that.
There was a meeting of the ordinance committee tonight, but there's no.
Okay, that was my confusion. I'm sorry, that was my confusion. Okay. New business. The board would like to have mandatory monthly reports from all departments. Now, I don't know exactly what the criteria would be, but I would like to bring that up and table it for now, and we're going to work on it in the following month, and when we come back in May, is that agreeable with everyone?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We're doing something similar, just to address it briefly, if I may, Mr. President.
Sure.
We're addressing it internally, where I'm anticipated that we're going to have bi-monthly, every other week, internal department meetings where we're going to be requesting certain information from our department heads. So it's going to coincide very well with the reports that you guys are looking for. What I had mentioned to a few of your members is that just narrowing it down to make sure what information you want is clear, so I can make sure that those are in the reports, what you're specifically looking for, if there's a template that you want it on, and how it's presented to you. So as you go through that discussion and determine what kind of information you're looking for from each department, just let me know, and we can kind of move forward.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be one size fits all. We're not going to expect the same report from the police department, and they're going to get the wrong, just to give you an idea. But there's certain things, what are your top 5 things you're working on, what are your barriers?
Yeah,
Those
just
types of
a
questions.
summary and things that they think that they should share with us.
Yeah. Is that something?
I'm happy to work with Joe to come up with a list that I can present to the board.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, some of your concerns, did you have, did you want to?
All right. So we'll be tackling that for next month. Okay, so here's uncharted territory for us. Our first executive session, which I don't think we have any old business. No, I don't think we have any old business. So executive session, I guess everybody leaves except. Oh, I need a motion to go into executive session. I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
All in favor of
To
that?
amend the motion?
Yes.
I move that the Board of Alders enter executive session